Hi everyone, it's Marlen. Today I have a patriotic shadow box project using the Cricut machine. If you guys would like to see a specific type of shadow box in the future, let me know in the comments below and I will do that for you guys in the future. So let's go ahead and get started. The materials that you need to make this shadow box is cardstock. I'm using red, white, and blue. I'm also using an 8x8 black shadow box, white vinyl. I also need the transfer tape, a glue gun with glue sticks, and once again guys, I am using a skewer to roll up my paper flowers. You also need these two Cricut tools in order to transfer that vinyl decal that I'm going to be making and placing on the glass part of the shadow box. And of course, you need your Cricut machine, your mat, in order to make the flowers and the vinyl decal that I'm going to be using for the shadow box. The flower that I'm going to be using, I actually downloaded from Pinterest and it was free, and it was a set of these three. I'm going to be using the one with the scallop edge. It's similar to the one that I used in my previous shadow box, except this one, the scalloping on the edge is not as deep as the other one. So I know that when I roll my flower, it's going to give me a different effect. I'm going to be using a 5x5 size, and I was able to get two of them per cardstock, and the size of the cardstock that I used was 8.5 by 11, so I was able to get two. When you're looking for patterns, Pinterest is amazing. You can find a lot of free downloads or inexpensive downloads, so I like to go there and kind of browse around. So I found this one for free and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this one, see how it works. So I actually loved how the flower turned out. So I was very happy with that. So now I'm just gonna wait, and I like to cut all my flowers before I start putting them together. I just find it a little bit easier having everything laid out, ready to go, than having to load and unload the mats. So I like to wait, cut everything out, have it ready, and then I'll start putting them together. I have all my flower patterns ready to start putting together. I have 8 white, 8 blue, and 9 red. And this is the extra cardstock that I had left over. Never get rid of it. You can use it for something else. I always keep mine. So now I'm going to go ahead and start putting my flowers together. So I'm going to start putting my flowers together. Once again, I'm using my skewer. I promise I will eventually buy the tool. I just like to go to the store and look at the different types of options that I have. It's not the same online. I just like to do this at the store, and at this point I'm really not going to the stores, so the skewer works just fine. I don't have a problem with it, so I will probably continue to use the skewer for a little while longer. So you want to take the piece of paper and wrap it around tightly at the pointy edge of the skewer, and you can leave it on there all the way through, or you can take it out. I decided to take it out, and I'm just holding the paper pattern firmly and as I'm wrapping it around. So you want to do a tight wrap. If it comes loose a little bit, that's okay, because at the end, once I'm done wrapping it, I am going to let it loosen up a little bit, just so the flower kind of looks like it's blooming. So when you get to the end, it has that little tab that you're going to fold back, and that's where you're going to place your glue. But you're going to fold it back, and I'm going to kind of let it go. This is a tight wrap, as you could see. It's nice and tight. You could leave the flower like that, but I'm actually going to let it loose up a little bit, and that's what I'm doing right now. I kind of just press it against my desk firmly, and there we go. I let it go, and that's what it looks like. It actually didn't come undone, and it usually doesn't, and this is what it looks like. So it is a difference from it being tightly wrapped to letting it loose. It kind of looks like a little bloom. So once I'm happy with that, I'll just take a little bit of glue and secure it in the back, and that's what my flowers are going to look like. So this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. I absolutely love this pattern. So I have another flower and I wanted to show you guys how the center starts to kind of unravel, and I don't let it go completely until the end because I'm scared that it's going to become undone. So once I have similar size, I'll go ahead and glue them. So that's what they look like. They look super cute and they're going to be about the same size. I mean, they're handmade, so they can't be exactly the same size. I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting all of my flowers together, and this is probably the part that takes the longest, putting them together. And as you guys could see, I am putting together a white one so I could show you guys how pretty it looks as well and give you a nice little close-up. As you guys could see, I'm holding the top and bottom part of the flower and just wrapping the rest of the pattern around it. And like I said before, you are able to leave it in as a tight wrap, except when the flower is tighter, they are smaller, so you're gonna need more to fill up the shadow box. And when you let it come undone a little bit, they're gonna be a little bit bigger. So this is what it looks like, and I let it go from the center. And now that I have kind of like the size that I want, I'll go ahead and glue it in the back. So once I have it glued down, this is what it looks like, and they look so pretty. I love this pattern. I am in love, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing a lot of projects with this pattern. If you guys want to find this pattern, you could go into my Pinterest and I have it saved. So this is what the flower looks like. Look how beautiful. So all my flowers are done. I have a total of 25. I have 9 red, 8 white, and 8 blue. I am going to be doing a pattern. I'm going to be doing red, white, and blue. So that's why I need one extra red one. So I took a piece of black cardstock and I used my Cricut machine to cut out an 8x8 piece of cardstock, and that's the size of the shadow box. So I'm actually going to glue that black cardstock to the back of the shadow box, and that's where I'm going to be gluing all of my flowers. Next, I'm going to start gluing my flowers to the back part of the shadow box where I glued the black piece of cardstock. My shadow box is an 8x8, so I have a total of 25 flowers. And I'm going to start with the red one, and I'm going to do red, white, and blue all the way across. And when you start gluing them, you want to make sure you leave a little space around the shadow box. As you guys could see, I didn't glue them all the way to the edge. That's just going to make it easier when you put the shadow box together. If you glue them very close to the edge, when you try and put the back piece into the shadow box, the flowers are going to start bumping the edges. So just leave about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. It works fine. And since I used black, it's really not going to show. You're not going to be able to see the little gap all the way around because the shadow box has like a little frame on the inside. So once I'm done gluing all the flowers, I'm going to make sure that I clean all that excess glue off before I put it in, just to make sure it looks nice and neat. You don't have to use this pattern if you don't want to. You can use whatever pattern that you want. You don't even have to have a pattern if you don't want to. That's what's so nice about these shadow boxes. You could just let your imagination go and do whatever you like, and everything looks super nice. And this is what it looks like. I absolutely love this flower pattern that I used. I'm so happy that I kind of let it loosen up a little bit. That way the flower is a little bit bigger. I love the detail of this flower. It's so beautiful. So next I went ahead and cut out a vinyl decal that says Home of the Free because of the brave, and I used different fonts from the Cricut machine. Some are a little bit bigger, the other ones are smaller, and I also went ahead and added 3 little stars. This is probably one of the tedious jobs there is when you make the shadow box, especially with this one because it is a small font, and some of the font that I used is not in cursive. So each letter is individually on the vinyl, like cut out. So when I try and take it out, sometimes it gets stuck and you just have to be very careful you don't bring it up. So I'll go ahead and finish taking it off, taking all the excess vinyl off, and then I'll put it on my transfer paper and get it ready to put on my shadow box. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put my shadow box together. Before I do this, I always make sure that the glass part of the shadow box is clean, that there's no fingerprints before I do any of this, because if there's fingerprints on the inside, you're not going to be able to clean them. You're going to have to take the back piece off. So I always make sure that it's completely clean. So at this point, as you guys can see, this is what it looks like before I add my vinyl decal. I'm so in love with these flowers. I already told you guys, but they look so pretty. They look even prettier in person. Before I add my vinyl decal, I make sure that the glass part is completely clean, and I take a little bit of alcohol and rub it over the part that I know that I'm going to place the vinyl decal, just to make sure that it is completely clean, that there's no fingerprints, no oil from my fingers. So then I'll go ahead and just place my vinyl decal and add it to the front part of the shadow box. And this is it. This is the finished product. Look how beautiful it looks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you like this video, give it a little thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video.